Manager. Web-based.
Maintenance asset management software.
Finance module.
Maintenance Assets Manager. Web-based. Maintenance assets management software.
Finance module. Based on Claris FileMaker.
Engineer Ibrahim Hamd Shalabai.
Claris, an Apple company. Claris is the leader in workplace innovation. Claris grew out of a vision to make powerful technologies
Available to everyone. Staying true to our core values has helped us thrive during 20+ years in business as we pursue our mission to advance creative potential.
Maintenance Assets Manager. Web-based. Maintenance assets management software. Finance module.
expenses, budget, record,
Revenues. Record.
Expenses. Revenues. Balance. Record.
expenses, budget, record.
Number 1. Expenses. Expenses are divided into two parts.
Production or contracting expenses and general and administrative expenses.
Production or contracting expenses.
They are direct expenses on the production or contracting process,
which makes it easy to charge the project directly.
Production or contracting expenses. Contracting expenses, direct as an example, are divided into the following items. Contracting expenses. Send workers' wages, car expenses. Cement, consultants' fees.
site electricity and water expenses, material transportation expenses, blacksmithing and carpentry fees are perks.
Builders' wages, miscellaneous expenses, projects, iron, nail, brake cubes, uncheck.
Production or contracting expenses. Contracting expenses, direct as an example, are divided into the following items. Continue.
Ready-mix concrete site insurance expenses, air conditioning units, gypsum work wages, previous years expenses, electrical materials, electrical work wages, recycled project expenses, sanitary materials, paint job fees, hospitality expenses, consumable materials for aluminum works,
tile and ceramic sanitary works, marble and granite fees for plastering works, stonework wage heaters, tanks and pumps wages equipment, stone, bank expenses, guarantees, closing the project bidding fee, wrought iron and tile work wage gates.
Expenses are divided into two parts. Part number 2. General and administrative expenses.
It is concerned with administration expenses, wages, office rents, etc.
It is charged to all projects because it is indirect costs that cannot be charged to a particular project because it includes all projects.
Expenses are divided into two parts. Part number 2. General and administrative expenses. Example:
mail, telephone, internet, subscriptions, etc. Publications, stationery and printing of accounting documents and books.
Maintenance of administrative offices and all annual and recurring costs.
Expenses are divided into two parts. Part number 2. General and administrative expenses. Example. Continue.
Salaries and wages of employees, including administrators, accountants, management drivers, and couriers.
The health insurance for the management staff, as well as the social insurance, are the share of the institution. Car, fuel and maintenance expenses.
And any other costs related to the administrative process,
And are considered a public expense that has nothing
To do with production and marketing.
expenses record. Example.
expenses, information,
Maintenance, assets, manager, finance, module.
Expenses report.
expenses, report, information,
Maintenance, assets, manager, finance, module.
Expenses report. Short.
expenses, report, information,
Maintenance, assets, manager, finance, module.
Expenses report.
expenses, report, information,
Maintenance, assets, manager, finance, module.
Expenses item. Short. Report.
expenses, report, information,
Maintenance, assets, manager, finance, module.
Revenues record.
It is the turnover of capital or income that the institution achieves from its business activity.
Usually, this revenue results from selling goods or performing services to buyers.
Types of revenue.
Revenues from sales. T is the revenue collected from customers from selling products to them. For example, selling machines, equipment, cars, clothes, computers, phones, food, etc.
Revenues from providing services. All fees that you pay to use the service are considered phone and internet bill service revenues as extraction fees.
Revenues record. Example.
Revenues, information,
Maintenance, assets, manager, finance, module.
Revenues report.
revenues, report information,
Maintenance, assets, manager, finance, module.
Revenues item. Short. Report.
revenues, report information,
Maintenance, assets, manager, finance, module.
Expenses revenues balance record.
shows the amount of the company's revenue from its sales revenue
And the amount of its expenditures to cover the costs of these sales expenses.
Expenses revenues balance record. Example.
expenses, information, revenues, information,
Maintenance, assets, manager, finance, module.
Expenses revenues balance report. Example.
total expenses, total revenues, total month, money balance,
maintenance, assets, manager, finance, module.